let us have another problem, another illustrative problem. Cotton Company is in a process of adjusting the books at the end of 2020. The accounting records revealed the following information. The entity failed to accrue commission income at year-end of 2019, that is 220,000. In 2020, that is 140,000. In each case, commission were received and recorded in January of the following year. Errors in ending inventory for the last 3 years were discovered. We have in 2018, 400,000 overstated. In 2019, 540,000 overstated. And in 2020, 150,000 understated. Improvements in buildings and equipment of 96,000 had been debited to expense on January 1 of 2018. Improvements are estimated to have an 8-year life. The company uses the straight line method in recording depreciation. The unadjusted retained earnings balance on January 1, 2020 was 12,600,000 and the unadjusted net income for 2020 was 3 million. The requirement: what is the adjusted net income of 2020 and what is the adjusted balance of retained earnings on January 1 of 2020? Okay, let us prepare our working paper. So we have 20, 18, 19, and 20. So we have 2020. The unadjusted net income of 2020 is 3 million. We have 2019. We don't have net income for that. And we have 2018. Okay. So it is only 2020 that have an adjusted net income. So we have an adjusted net income. Okay. So number 1, the entity failed to accrue commission income at the end of 2019 and 2020. So unrecorded commission income, that is 2019 and 2020, 220 and 140,000. 140,000. Okay. Unrecorded commission income. What is the entry that was not prepared on December 31, 2019? That is debit commission receivable and credit commission income, 220,000. Because of that, our net income of 2019, I mean, is understated by 220,000. Again, the entry that were not prepared is debit commission receivable and credit commission income of 220,000. That was December 31, 2019. So, the effect, our net income of 2019 is understated by 220,000. Come 2020, that 220,000 were being received. So, in its case, commissions were received and recorded in January of the following year. So, again, come January of 2020, these 220,000 were received and the entry prepared debit cash of 220,000 and credit commission income of 220,000. So, our net income of 2020 is overstated by 220,000 because this one is an income of 2019. So, for 220, 140,000. Again, it is understated by 140,000 because it was not recorded. Okay. Then we have errors in ending inventory for the last 3 years were discovered. So we have errors in ending inventory. We have 2018, 2019, and 2020. We have 400,000 overstated. We have 540,000 overstated. And we have 150,000 understated. So, to 2018, 400,000 overstated. Again, if the ending inventory is over, our net income is over. So, over by 400,000. And come 2019, our net income is understated because gas, goods available for sale, is overstated, net income is understated. It has no effect anymore in 2020 income statement. For 2019, it is 540,000. 540,000 overstated, which means it is also overstated. So, come 2020, it now understated. And in 2020, that is 150,000 understated, which means our net income of 2020 is understated by 150. So, plus 150,000. Okay. Improvements in building and equipment of 96,000 had been debited to expense on January 1, 2018. Improvements are estimated to have an 8-year life. The company uses the straight line method in recording depreciation. Okay. So first is this one, the improvements in building and equipment of 96,000 had been debited to expense on January 1. This is a capital expenditure. So what should be, or what is the entry prepared by our client for this 96,000? That is debit expense, and it should be debit to building buildings or debit PPE or fixed debit buildings or debit PPE 96,000. It means that our expense in 2018 is overstated by 96,000. So, capital expenditure recorded as expense in 2018. So, how much is that? That is 96,000. So, 96,000. Again, the entry prepared by our client is debit expense 96,000 and credit cash 96,000. And it should be debit PPE 96,000 and credit cash 96,000. Okay, because of that, our expense is overstated by 96,000, which means the income of 2018 is understated by 96,000. So, it means this is plus. Again, depreciation expense is overstated by 96,000. In effect, the income of 2018 is understated by 96,000. Okay. Also, 96,000, it should be depreciated for 8-year life, and that is January. So, for 2018, whole year depreciation. So, 96,000 by 8 divided by 8. That is 12,000 per year. No depreciation were recorded in 2018, 19, and 20 because they do not record it as capital asset or fixed asset. That is why it were not included in computing for the depreciation. So omission of depreciation expense. That is 12,000 per year. So that is 12,000, and 12,000. Again, omission of depreciation expense. No entry were prepared. Debit depreciation expense, credit accumulated depreciation 12,000 for the years 2018, 2019, and 2020. It means that in 2018, expense were understated. So, the income is overstated by 12,000. The same with 2019, it is overstated by 12, and also in 2020, it is overstated by 12,000. Okay, again, why it is overstated? Because the depreciation expense is understated. The client does not prepare an entry for this 12,000 for the last 3 years, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, so let us now compute the net effect. So for 2018, that is 400,000 minus 400,000. Then plus 96,000 minus 12,000. So minus 316. Okay, and for 2019, that is 220,000 plus 400,000 minus 540 minus 12,000. So positive 68,000. And the correct net income of 2020, that is 3 million. 3 million minus 220 plus 140 plus 540 plus 150 minus 12,000. 3 million 3,598,000. Okay, so that is okay. The first question. So number 1, for our answer number 1, what is the adjusted net income for 2020? That is 3,598,000. So that is adjusted net income. So we have 2020 adjusted net income is 3,598,000. Okay, and number 2, what is the adjusted balance of retained earnings on January 1, 2020? Okay, it says here, the unadjusted retained earnings balance on January 1, 2020 was 12,600,000. So we have unadjusted retained earnings January 1, 2020 is 12,600,000. The requirement is how much is the adjusted balance of retained earnings January 1, 2020. So this is the unadjusted balance. We have the adjustment, net adjustment of 2018 of 316,316 minus, this is the net adjustment of 2018 net income. And we have the net adjustment of 2019 net income, 68,000. So our adjusted retained earnings January 1, 2020, we have 12,600,000 minus 316,000 plus 68,000. That is 12,352,000. So this is our adjusted RE December 31, 2020. Follow-up question, what about the retained earnings balance December 31, 2020 or January 1, 2021? It is just 12,352,000 plus the net income of 2019, the corrected one, of 3,598,000. So if the question is, how much is the retained earnings on December 31, 2020? That is 15,950,000. Okay. So, I hope I can be of help to you. Okay, bye-bye.